各位亲爱的观众，今天又到我们生活在美国的节目了。Welcome， 我叫 Jake Fu。Welcome to our show, Asian Global Now, and we are here with special guest Tim. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Good. And today we have some very special talk we want to talk about. This is a new show. Please watching us on Facebook Live. You can streaming anytime. 也可以在脸书上面可以看到我们的节目。下午晚上有时候会重播。接下来我们今天讨论一个非常重要的题目。我们今天讲到的是说，我们大家各种不同的种族生活在美国，大家之间的交通跟了解。We talk about community understanding, and we have lots of history, and lots of people just understand. Like we have Vietnamese, Chinese, Latino, American community. So tell us about what it's like Vietnamese American community like in Houston, Texas.
I didn't really think about the Vietnamese American community in Houston until I went to college in California, and I saw the difference in the kind of like generational and cultural gap, just culture between the two. Because California, they have a longer history of Asian immigration. Starting from the days of the railroads, and they had Chinese immigrants come and work on the railroads. Here in Houston, I feel like, at least speaking for the Vietnamese American community, we didn't come until, around like 1970s. So our generation is a lot younger here, and there's a lot more first generation Asian Americans compared to like third to like fifth generation Americans in, Los Angeles and San Francisco. So they've had a lot more time to get more established, and first generation Americans here, we're trying to like, we're trying to like just make it in America yet. We haven't had a lot of foundation to grow. At least for me, like I try to focus on art, and we're first generations Americans here. We try to focus more like on our children, growing up and achieving that what is it called, like that great American dream. And so like I feel like the Asians here, like we're really trying to build that foundation.
让我给大家解释，他说的话，在中国人在美国移民过来时间比较长，像旧金山、纽约这些，long time ago， 他们说越南族的话到美国来的时间比较晚。然后他在上大学的时候的话，接触到比较国外跟美国跟越南一起合作的机会，所以他现在因为他年纪轻，所以他对于文化艺术成分特别感兴趣。所以 Well, when you grew up in Houston, right, most of the time, your whole life?
Yes, I was born in Vietnam, and then I came here around 5 years old. And then I grew up in a very that diverse community. I grew up around in a Hispanic community, and then I went to high school in the middle of like downtown in DeBakey High School for medical health professions, because as you know, stereotypical Asians want their kids to become doctors, lawyers, or engineers. I tried that, but I'm still an artist, so yay.
他在美国出生的，然后在这里长大的。他长大的区域也有很多的西班牙人区，所以的话，在这里很多的我们的种族的区域大家就混合在一起，非常的好。So, we grew up Vietnamese American. We were talking about how people pursue Asian people, in America. Why you always thinking if you go to Asian community, these people probably don't speak any English. Is that true?
I really don't think so. I think it's because there's a bit of like a difference between first generation immigrant families versus like the kids who grew up here. I consider myself generation like 1.5 just because I grew up with like I grew up speaking English and like helping my immigrant family navigate through America, and it's a lot on my shoulders as like I feel more like the personal like secretary and translator for my family sometimes, just because I'm their only English connection to the community. But I mean, I've kind of grown into it now that I'm like more of an adult. I used to resent it a bit as a child.
我就问他，我们家到越南去的话，他们会不会讲英文？他说当然会讲英文。然后他们因为移民过来长大的时候的话，父母亲有的时候讲的一般话比较多，但是他们年轻一代的话都是讲2种不同的语言。So you're bilingual.
Yes, right? So I actually speak a little bit of a lot of languages. So I speak English and Vietnamese. I learned a little bit of Spanish, just growing up in the in Texas, so close to.
So how do you say how are you in Vietnamese to our friends out there?
Chào bạn, hôm nay làm cái gì?
Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah, and then I learned I learned Japanese in college. So, こんにちは、私はタムと申します。どうぞよろしくお願いします。So yeah, I speak a little bit of everything.
他讲各种不同多种语言，他会讲越南语，也会讲英文 of course 也会讲点日语。So what do you think today in Houston we have a huge mixed culture. We have over 120 some in Houston, Texas. Do you think the mixed marriage is very welcome to your community still, or still new to them?
What do you mean by mixed?
Like where a Vietnamese girl married to American,
Oh.
And a Vietnamese boy married to American girl. In your culture, are they still kind of new then? Are they very welcome, or everybody's like half and half?
I think it varies case by case. It depends on how I guess open-minded like the parents are. Like I think just like within my own family, they're just like, no, I don't think I want you to marry a Chinese boy, and I'm just like, okay. But then like it's a weird like kind of like just speaking for like at least kind of like what my perceptions of kind of like Asian Americans and like how we relate to the Latinx community, the Black community, like the white community. I feel like there is like a bit of like a separation, and it depends on how like comfortable we are, at least for the family to like really mix into it. But I feel like the future of America within like these newer generations, we're less. We're less we're more open to like kind of like breaking down those boundaries.
他说新的年轻人的一代的话，对于这个种族互相交往的话是没有太多的隔阂。年纪大人也许觉得你好像还是应该不要嫁给中国人啊，这种心理比较传统性的想法。但现在社会在改变的话，对他来讲的话，越来越多的这种种族之间的沟通跟结合是非常容易发生的事情，所以没有太多的问题。So, well, also other things now. Where's a good place to go shopping? Vietnamese restaurant or food you want to go in Houston? Do you know what area we are? If our viewer out there wanted to say, hey, I never been there. I want to go check it out.
Yeah, I'm really grateful to be a Vietnamese American growing up in Houston because our community is really big, and it's most of us are centered in Bel Air, but there's like little enclaves like in near Pasadena or like somewhere in North Houston. Growing up, I always shopped at Hong Kong Market. Hong Kong 1 to 5. There's like five now. So yeah, I loved trying to get those like that taste of like Vietnam there. So yeah, I would definitely recommend like the Hong Kong markets if you want a little Vietnamese taste.
大家都会想要试试看就是越南食物的话，叫 Hong Kong Market 就香港城里面它有5个不同的。你看看不同的区，但是我们普通话都在 Bel Air 上面就有很多接通的。So, well, what do you reach out to our audience to say? What's the big mythology, misunderstanding about Vietnamese community? Because after the Vietnam War, lots of people feel like Vietnamese come to America and taking some jobs away, but I don't think that's the truth, right?
Yeah, I think one of the things I studied for my senior thesis in college was the model minority myth, and this kind of it's weird because it applies to like all generations of Asians because we're kind of like this weird monolith where we're kind of like the people in power set Asians, not just Vietnamese Americans, but just set Asians as a whole against like the Latinx and the like the Black communities, saying like, hey, look at these Asians, they're they have high incomes, they succeeded to blend into the American narrative without protesting, without without receiving government handouts or being so loud and being angry all the time. That's the kind of thing, and like I really want to that's one of the things I want to dispel with using my using art, because it's just we have like very it may seem like Asians are succeeding, but then it kind of hides the inequalities of other Asian groups like the Hmong group or like the Asian refugee community who don't have as much access to resources or like access to like those higher income jobs because a lot of us didn't come with like college educated background or a large income or like a lot of community resources. So I think that's like one of the things one of those myths I really wanted to dispel, where it's not all Asians are achieving that 100K success and all that stuff.
他这是大学里面的时候就写了一篇论文，专为讲于这个少数民族的一种背景跟这社会观念，Yeah。然后接下来的话就是说，他也就是说，现在的社会在改变，但是很多这一方面的资料现在比较充足，但需要了解的话，大家应该多去了解他这些，因为他讲了很多，所以我们假如你要翻译的话，我们可以到我们的Facebook 或 website 上面再解说更多的细节的方面，但这种消息非常的重要。接下来我们就说的话，follow up, we're going to close your session, so we're going to so what you last word for our audience outside, how we're communicating within our community. What do you want to say to them? Come to our community, dining, and meet our friends.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's I feel like one of the best things about Houston is the food. Every time I talk to new people and like why do you love Houston so much? It's the number one answer is always food. So come and like eat Viet food, Chinese food, like Korean food. We have so much so many restaurants in the area to cater and diversify your taste buds. So definitely one of the best ways to be introduced into the culture is food. So come eat with us.
多了解的越南文化的话，就是希望大家来我们的地方去 shopping 吃喝，是最容易公开的一种沟通的方法。所以的话，大家有机会知道 What's a good place to go to?
I think my favorite restaurant right now for banh mi, which is our staple Vietnamese sandwich, is Cali Sandwich. I've been eating there since when I was little, and my mom used to work there. So shout out to Cali Sandwiches in Midtown.
在 Cali Sandwich 在城中心就可以。好，谢谢你。我们接下来还有其他的各位的特别来宾，所以 thank you so much talking with us today. We definitely learned a few things.
Yay! I'm happy. Thank you for having me again.
Yes.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
This is former Rocket Robert Reed.
This is Mel Hewitt of Athletes United.
And we want to talk to you about our new program and podcast. We're talking about former athletes who are doing a lot of things in the community.
Various athletes in various sports. Swimming, track, soccer, football, baseball, you name it.
Former and current athletes here in the greater Houston area.
All promoting wellness, health. All promoting that which makes us all better.
Of Edge Radio, truth still matters.
Welcome back. I'm Jake Fu. I'm here in Houston, Texas at Edge Radio talking to our friends out there, listener, yeah, and the Facebook friends. Yeah, 今天 we'll have a special guest, friends. So tell everybody your name.
我叫何冰我是房地产经纪人在休斯顿住了27年了。
Oh, he's a real estate manager, and his name is He Bing. Yeah, she been live in Houston about 20 years. Today, our topic is about community understanding and communicating with the community. In Houston, we have a big, massive international community here. We want everybody communicating each other, understand the math and what is out there. So I invite our speaker, He Bing, 问他一些关于我们知道 mixed race community a question and so welcome to our show. OK，
谢谢。
跟大家讲一下，你是中国来的哪个城市 ？Which city you come from in China？
我是中国四川重庆。
Oh, she's from Sichuan, China. Are they famous for hot and spicy food?
对的 ，yes.
Oh, they have lots of spicy. Okay, well, we are in Houston, so what's a good place to eat hot and spicy Chinese food in Chinese community? Where at? 在作为中国街的话，什么地方可以我们买到好吃的四川食物啊？
在那个中国城休斯顿的Bel Air 上面到8号的地方有很大一个中国城各种各样的餐馆，就看你喜欢哪一种菜。各系的菜都有。
他说在 Bel Air 跟 Bellway 的之间就有很大的中国城。There's a very large Chinese shopping center there. There's all different type of Chinese restaurant in there. You can go and choose and pick. So 那里面有川辣店吗？
对，有川菜，有粤菜，有江浙菜，什么都有，应有尽有。
So in the shopping center we have hot spicy Sichuan food. We have a Cantonese food, we have a Vietnamese American food, it's all mixed together, should be very good. Okay, well, tell everybody you've been in Houston for 20 years.
27 years.
27, oh, 27 years. So what's the best about Houston you like?
Well, Houston is very cultural, international.
Right.
所以是很mixed culture. It's the fourth largest city in the U.S.
你觉得在美国的话，什么最好的地方在什么地方？在中国人在美国住的什么地方？地方大，宽大。
住的房子，你是说，那是肯定是我们休斯顿啦。对，我们那个德州啦。
跟中国相比的话，你觉得美国的房子大吗？
那当然是哦，又大又便宜哦。
He said he liked to live in Houston because Houston houses are very big and lots of room. Yeah, okay. Well, 另外再请问，那中国人在美国的很多，但是你觉得很多人对我们中国人的误解好像我们中国人好像每个人就是百万富翁，你觉得这种观念是对的吗？
当然肯定不对啦。早期移民都是到这里来，经过自己的努力，很艰辛，就是说能够获得今天就是能够住上好的大的房子，开上好的车，那也是经过一段时间的努力。不过呢，随着中国的经济的发展，近几年呢，确实造就了很多百万富翁，就是说的是那些富豪吧。所以他们呢就是移民来美国一来就可以买大房子买豪车，所以这就给外国人造成了一个觉得中国人都很有钱。
He said, well, most immigrant Chinese American are come to America to work very hard, very long time, save the money and educate the next generation, go to college, and so they are perceived maybe wealthy, but it's not, but they work very hard to build out the wealth. And today we have some overseas, some people from China, very wealthy Chinese come to America. And they're not immigrants, they're just kind of investors. They come here, buy big houses. And that tendency, kind of people have misunderstand, assume Chinese community are very wealthy and have lots of money to spend. But most of the community is still a hard working class, right? Yeah. So what kind of I know lots of people think Chinese only open restaurant. 他很多人认为中国只是开餐馆的，有没有其他的事业？像你是做房地产，中国人还有一些什么其他的事业呢
中国人做的在这里，什么开发商啊，然后拥有那个购物中心啊，还有超市啊，那个还有就是 apartment complex 公寓这些各种各样的，对。
有没有医生啊、律师这方面？
当然肯定有了，医生、医疗中心好多中国人，特别是做那个研究的这方面的。
OK，还有一些中国人年轻人现在喜欢做些什么事啊？像年轻人一代。
年轻人嘛，肯定就是说跟 IT 啊、电脑啊这些有关啊，也对金融很感兴趣啊，所以他们就是说很广泛了，就是说。
Well, as she tells us, in Chinese company, they have many different occupations. They not besides the restaurant, they also investor, bankers, lawyer, doctors, which lots of times work in a medical center as research and scientists. For the younger generation, of course, they also very into technology like computer science and communication, internet, social media is like big thing with the Asian community. They love that. So, well, tell us, 你觉得这些外国人对中国人有些哪些地方的误解？你觉得话，有些外国人对中国人觉得好像中国人的区比较保守，好像不欢迎外国人到我们中国人去。Is that a fact? I'm asking just people feel like a Chinese community not welcome outside the community. And well, I know myself a fact. First, people have to find where the Chinese community is, right? And so 我们是不是很 open 啊？对，很欢迎外国人到我们的区域。
我觉得是很 open， 很欢迎。我觉得那个是他们的一个自己的误解。
OK，
肯定是就是说中国人还是很友好的、友善的、很好客的。所以都是很希望这些外国友人去我们就是说中国的那个 community 那些区域去参加活动啊、吃饭啊、购物啊，都是非常欢迎的。
Chinese New Year, big party, right? Yeah, he says Chinese community are very open to welcome outside the communities and for holidays, activities, all kinds of events. We can all kinds of shops. So not just restaurant, we can all kinds of we have a bread, we're having a seamstress, we'll have a cafe and bubble teas, right? All kinds of stuff. Yeah, and also big Chinese New Year party where probably like thousands, right? 上千人都到中国就过年哈。
对呀。
也非常受欢迎。Yeah, so it's very, very open. 所以的话，还有一方面就是说，在中国的食物方面的话，你觉得在哪一家是最好去 shopping? Where you get the best Chinese food? We want to make Chinese food. 假如我要做中国食物，哪一家是最好买这些中国料理的？
买中国料理，基本上这个中国城的超市里都买得到。像那个什么惠康啊、白家呀，还有就是那个大中华啊，还有香港城超市，这些都是非常好的，非常丰富的。
Good. You want to buy Chinese? You want to cook Chinese food? And there's a lot of shopping center available in Bel Air. There's a Welcome. There's a Dunhuang. There's what's the other one called?
百家.
Yeah, there's all available. They have many thousand different items you can choose. You maybe get a little dizzy. So another sentence, do these people in Chinatown speaking English? Yeah, let me ask her. 在中国这些人他们讲英文吧？
因为他们是对接待所有的客人，所以呢，有时候不是每一个人都会讲英文，但是他店里必定有人会讲英文，所以你是外国客人来，他就会有派会讲英文的接待你，所以没有一点语言的问题。
Oh, they say majority customer, of course, maybe Chinese or Asian related, but they have who all speak English. If you are a foreigner and go in the supermarket, ask a question, they can answer your English without any question. Very good service too. That was very nice, very patient. I've been there. Sometimes it's real busy, but I still can keep it to help me out. So also other things. Let me tell us about Houston in the real estate business, and we know. Buying house out of California and Houston, of course, Houston better investment 在休斯顿是很好投机的，做房地产。So now, what's the good area right now for people to buy? And not just Chinese, for all over. 是什么地方现在买房地产？在休斯顿哪个区域比较好？现在
？Well， 房地产这个事情就是 always location。
地点。
所以对当然就是说，一般说来像城中心的610以内或者是8号以内 越往里边走呢，当然就是说房价就越高。比如说像还是最热门的就是River Oaks、Memorial， 还有 West U， 这些地方对的房产是一直很热门的。
他说在那个高速公路610、8号公路圈之内的 Circle， 对不对 ？Circle 之内的房价就稍微贵一点，还有比较好的区域，像 West U 就是说西部 University 大学区，还有像 River Oak 我们这边比较高级的区域，房子比较特别贵的区域。Yeah, so what's a good investment? You think is in Katy and Cypress？ 哪一个区域比较好？
当然就是说，如果学区好的房子呢，就是容易保值和增值比较快一些。现在像唐城也发展的 Sugarland 也发展的很好很快，所以那边的房子呢也卖得起价，所以也是很好的那个投资。因为学区房然后呢就是说像那些有大家庭的，他们就喜欢住在郊外。就是说地盘大一点房价呢便宜一点所以 Katy 现在发展的也很不错而且建了一个很大的亚洲城吃超市餐馆什么都有。
Oh, very good. Yeah, she just told me some news. In Katy, we have a big Chinese Asian community area. Also, the house out there is kind of big. Some people want to be a little further out of the city. Want a big house accommodating for bigger family members. That's a good area to do, and you can do that. Very good. So if you want to know more information about her, we're having listing later. You can contact her through email or Facebook. Okay, they can find her. Yes. Okay, well, what's the last word you're going to tell our audience? 对于中国区的最后我们要跟我们境外的观众说些什么？终于我们是欢迎，希望大家到我们中国区、中国城来玩。你的讲法是怎么样说？
对，肯定的，就是说我们都是很友好的那个民族，所以呢也希望给美国人民带来好的印象、好的服务，所以也希望大家都到中国城去就是说吃饭、购物然后了解中国的文化。非常欢迎。
Yeah, she said we really want everyone ever come to Chinatown and to shopping, to eat, making friends, and we wanted to everybody know we are very happy to making friends with everybody. So please come out and reach on us, and we are very friendly nationalities, and we're not prejudiced against anyone. And anytime you come out, we'll be open armed to help you come to our community, which we're having. The old Chinatown in like downtown area, now we have in Katy, also in Bel Air, right? Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for talking with us. Yeah, 非常谢谢你参加我们的节目，给我们很好的消息跟资料。Yeah.
谢谢。Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, don't go away. We're going to come back with other special guests. Bobby, my friend, going to talk about Latino America, about misunderstanding and coming to community. Yes, we'll be right back.
Between the ages of 0 and 5, a child's mind is very impressionable. Researchers call it the theta brainwave. This low frequency is the state of consciousness between the conscious and subconscious worlds. In this state, the mind is capable of deep and profound learning, healing, and growth. There is a subconscious loop that's created during these early years. Who you believe you are has been downloaded based on experiences that you have had. A bad experience could create fears and limitations. Do you love who you are? Do you believe in yourself? The reality is that you can't control your childhood. All you can do is interpret it. You can choose to see your good and your value. Try this experiment. Project forward. See yourself at 80 years old. Now you have lived a lifetime. What advice would you have for your younger self? What risks would you have taken? What relationships would you have avoided? Did you celebrate life? Did you allow yourself to feel, to be present? Your 80-year-old self would tell you to not live in fear, to have faith that things will work out, that all you have to do is persist until you succeed. Your 80-year-old self would tell you to stay healthy, to take care of your body. And it would ultimately tell you to share your gifts with the world.
Welcome back to our listener. Edge Radio. My name is Jake Fu. We're at Houston, Texas. We're broadcasting out to the world. Today we have a special guest, DJ Awesome, with me. And he is a special guest for Latino community, also American, Latino American. I'm Chinese descending myself. We are here to talk about community understanding and communicating with other community. We know Houston being a very large mixed culture, almost like New York City. We have so many different cultures come together. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding. Today, our show is trying to everybody understand everybody's difference and how we already come together. Welcome to our show. Tell everybody a little about yourself and where the DJ Awesome name come from.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here with you. I'm excited and nervous, the Awesome DJ. Believe it or not, I was born like few feet from here. This is Freemanstown. I was born here in Freemanstown in Allen Parkway Projects, Jefferson Davis Hospital. Mm-hmm. I started DJing. The seed was planted in '79, and I have been doing it ever since.
他1970年就在美国出生，他的外号叫做 DJ 很棒。他是我的好朋友很多年，他今天跟我们解释一下这个西班牙在美国族跟我们美国生活的习惯这一方面。So tell us, well, Latino American in Houston, Texas, what is it? Is a large community out here, or what is it like?
Well, when you say Latino, there's just so much Latino. I mean, it's not just
one kind.
Yeah, one kind. Many people think that here is just Mexican or Chicano.
Okay.
But in reality, there's a total diversity of Latino Hispanics.
他说大家有时候完全误解，以为西班牙裔只是墨西哥裔很少数的，事实上有很多很多不同的西班牙裔。So what are those different type of Latino American? Yes.
Well, first of all, the people that were here originally was the Chicano community, then the Mexican community, and now also the Puerto Rican, Colombian, Cuban, even like Brazilian, Portuguese, kind of. I don't know if they consider themselves Latin, but there's just so many.
它有哥伦比亚，有古巴 and 还有各种不同南美洲的，有的是他们说是拉丁美洲，也是一种不同的。So are they all speaking just one Latino? I mean Spanish, or this?
Well, there's variations in their languages because of the culture differences.
Right.
So they can relate to a degree,
but
some words have different meanings depending on where they're from.
他们西班牙语是可以沟通，但有的时候有些字用法有一点不太一样。So what's the most popular they speaking in is it Spanish, right?
It would be Spanish, yes.
Because I know there's a Portuguese, right?
There's a Portuguese.
And what's any Latino language besides Portuguese, Spanish? Any other one like Chile? Are they speaking Spanish?
Their Spanish is pretty much similar. Like I said, the dialects are different.
Okay.
Depending on where they're from.
Dialect.
Because you have the Mexican dialect, you have the Puerto Rican. Different. Some the meanings are a lot, but some of the words are very different. So learning those languages, you got to know what you're saying because you can offend someone, and that, trust me, I've had that happen before. So
有些字眼的用法跟地方用法有点不太一样，讲错的话，大家会有一种不好的误解。Yeah. Okay. Well, Houston's a big melting pot, so we all know. So what was it like growing up here with our regular American here, with a black and brown and culture was a mix up. So what was your experience like?
Well, I'm a multicultural. I mix. My father's Puerto Rican, my mother's Mexican. And in those bloodlines, my descendants is African and Spaniard.
Oh.
The ones that I know of. Now, I don't know about, if I got to take my DNA test, do that. But the majority back in the 80s was primarily Chicano, Hispanic, Mexicans. Houston grew, the diversity came. And so now there's a flood of diversity of Hispanic, Latino community, Afro-Latinos too.
它本身的血裔种族有非洲、有南美洲、有西班牙洲，所以很复杂。但它长大的话是西班牙跟那个what do you call Spanish and what's the other one? Mexican? 有 two different ancestors. Puerto Rican, yeah, Puerto Rico, yeah, 是两个种族合在一起。Sometimes, I'm getting confused already, but it's really good. We like multicultural. So, tell us, grow up here. So we have a lot of rich in food and culture, and lots of festivals. So what's some of the places we can go get a good Latino Spanish food?
Well, I mean, there's a diversity. If you want Mexican, there's Mexican restaurants, there's Puerto Rican restaurants, there's Cuban restaurants, Colombian restaurants, Salvadorian restaurants, Honduran restaurants. I mean, there's just even Brazilian restaurants, Tex-Mex, Chicano restaurants. So it's a big variety of
那你要喜欢吃的话，这里有很多不同的，有拉丁美洲各种的 ，Yeah. So what do you think the most misunderstanding about Latino community to most people who just new to our show? Like, okay, sometimes we think Latino American only this and that. So what is a big mythology?
Well, the misconception is, and growing up here in Texas. Back in the 80s, 70s, I'm telling you based on my age and stuff.
Okay.
There was primarily Chicano people here and Mexicans. So everybody gets put into that.
Okay.
They considered Mexican or Chicano. But the real truth is there's a whole spectrum of Hispanic Latinos. Like I said, it comes from Afro-Latinos, every other Latino. It's all different styles and textures of it.
最大的误解，大家认为这个西班牙种族只是一个种族，事实上里面的种族非常非常来自非洲、来自南美洲、来自中南美洲各种，就有很多很复杂的。So, well, what would make you upset about when people are saying something about Latino? You're like, well, I don't like that. I don't think that's the fact. What's the most common misconception?
Well, the common misconception based on what I've experienced in my life was that they put you in the category of one.
Oh, one. Okay.
And that would be either or two. They'll either you're Mexican, and they consider everybody Mexican. But it's not that way.
最容易简单的误解就是认为大家都是说墨西哥西班牙裔，但事实上真实生活也有很大的差别。Okay, yeah. And go ahead, continue.
Okay. So so that was one of the misconceptions. So the process of educating people that there is a diversity of all the Hispanics, and here is tough because some people still want to keep you in that little narrow.
I see.
But we're more than that.
大家往往把他们摆在一个很小的一个空间里面，事实上这空间非常的大，非常不同的种族，各种不同的西班牙种族，非常非常的 colorful, right? It's very colorful.
Very colorful.
Yeah, some of my friends actually holding like a festival about all different South Central American nationality. We have a lot of festivals in Houston. So, well, what is the most popular entertainment in Houston for Latino Americans?
Well, Latino Hispanics love to dance. They love to party. They love to dance. And there's, like I said, there's different styles and textures of music.
What are those dance names?
Well, like being a DJ, starting early in life and getting the greatest opportunity. There's like Tejano, there's salsa merengue, there's norteño, there's bachata. These are all different. So
we have a salsa, okay. Because about salsa, okay.
Merengue.
Tejano. What is that?
Tejano is a regional Texas-based music that was originated here in Texas.
Okay.
And it was fused with polka, Polish polka.
So 早期德州的音乐跟 polka 就是波兰音乐配合在一起的。
So and it's like a polka in Spanish.
But in Spanish, 西班牙话。
So,
okay.
And you know, so that's the Texas thing. That's their music.
Oh, 是德州一种特别的
tradition, yeah.
Okay, and what else we have?
Okay, we had merengue, salsa, there's bachata.
Bachata, what's that?
Bachata is like a love dance. I think it was invented in the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic, okay.
And it's a love dance. I don't want to dance on here, but it's a love
比较
dance.
靠得比较近，像情人一样的一种跳舞的方法。I told them kind of love dance. Yes. Yeah. And what else? There's a tango is part of that too.
Well, tango is like I think it comes from the Spain, or like the flamenco. I'm thinking that's where it comes from. I could be wrong though. Don't quote me on that, but I'm thinking that's where it would come from. The Spaniards have that.
Well, at those party, of course, big dance group. Do you have everybody come, right? Not just Latino. We'll have other people in different background also come, right? Chinese.
Yeah,
Afro-American,
yes.
you know.
Well, you know, nowadays, since Houston is so diverse and so open-minded with music and people, I've literally done dances and been at events where it's every culture dancing the salsa, or bachata, or Tejano, or it's just it's enveloping everybody, every culture. You know, it makes you feel fun. It's they love the party, they love the dance.
Yeah, 休斯顿是个非常开放的城市，所以大家都喜欢集中在一起唱歌、跳舞、表演，是非常热闹的。所以说大家不要介意有机会参加。So what's a good place right now because COVID-19 will kind of clubs stop a little bit. So what do you think after COVID-19? What's a good place to go to fund this dance number like
Houston have so much diversity in Hispanic Latinos. You can do like one club have salsa, one club have bachata, one have Tejano, one has other stuff.
So I mean, how do I find out these places?
Well, usually they're posted.
DJ Awesome, please tell them.
Well, they usually post it on Facebook. Facebook and other internet.
So your Facebook is DJ Awesome.
Yes.
How do you spell that?
It's The Awesome DJ, capital TheAwesome DJ with my name, Bobby Balderas.
Oh, Bobby Balderas. Yes. Well, you also been a TV talk show before, right?
Yes. I've been on 2 TV talk shows. In 2006, I did the Zona Festival talk show where we did talk shows like this and played music videos.
Oh, okay.
And then in 2000, I think it's 14-15, I did the 2 Smartest Vatos, and that means the 2 smartest
guys. I saw
guys.
that. It's really funny.
And we had a guest. We had him on there one time as a guest. And the 2 Smartest Vatos basically mean the 2 smartest guys that claim to know everything, but we really didn't know everything. It was kind of like a kind of a.
他以前做过2个 talk show 节目，然后有一个节目很好玩，我参加过。他讲说这2个世界上最聪明的人讲世界上各种不同的事情，非常的有意思，很好笑，很好玩，很好逗，大家看得非常的幽默感。Yeah, but those shows are English or Latino or Spanish?
They're Hispanic based, but they were done in English.
Okay. 它是西班牙 based， 但是讲的是英文。Okay. Are you working on any new show yourself?
Well, we're trying to do something. You know, I'm trying to do something with you, but we're waiting till all this settles down.
Okay.
All the COVID and all the.
Well, how does the COVID-19 affect our dear friend Latino American community? What was it like? Everybody.
Well,
was
it's bad, as you know, and this is gonna be the first for everybody. I did recover from it. I did get a mild version of it about a month ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it was, even though it was a mild version of the virus, it was horrific. And what it did, and it had woke me up, and it makes you appreciate life more better and friends. I mean, it was a tough situation, but thank God I'm here. That's the point.
他试着有一点感染到 COVID-19， 但他现在已经休养好了，但是非常的这经验非常的并不是很愉快，所以希望大家特别注意健康。他也很高兴可以大家跟我朋友大家就在一起，大家可以讲话，真是。人生啊，经过一个经历之后的感觉上的感官就会改变。Yeah. So what's our last word to our audience? What are you going to say? Our Latino American audience, our regular American audience, what do you want to say? What's the message outreach to them?
I think the message is now, after we've had this great experience with this virus, that it's time for us to really just put away all our hate and differences and embrace our differences and culture differences. I think once we learn how to do that, we're going to be the best we can be worldwide. And we need to do that for the betterment of humanity and ourselves.
他希望大家能够团结在一起，种族之间不要发生任何的政治，大家和平相处，未来的世界会更美好，对大家更有很好的进步。我们社会要往前走，不要往后。Yeah. Well, thank you for talking with us, DJ Awesome. And we hope we see your show too.
Well, I hope you invite me back. And I want to say hi to George Ignatius. Iniguez, he was the producer of those 2 shows.
Yes.
So we want to say hi to him and thank him. And thank you for inviting me to this. I love it. Yes. I love your new place. I love everything.
Yeah, Edge Radio is all about, we bring in today's topic in front of people, tell us what's the latest, your community, what's happening. So don't go away. We'll be back for another short break, and then we'll come back with our special guest, Tim Martin. He's going to tell us.
And DJ Austin will be in the mix soon.
Yes.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Welcome back. I'm Jake Fu at Edge Radio. Back to you again. Today we're talking about community understanding and communicating with community. We have a special guest, my best friend in Texas, Mr. Tim Martin. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody. How are you doing?
Well, tell a little bit about everyone. Who are you?
Who am I? Well, I decided since we're doing differences in the community, I decided to bring my Houston, Texas cowboy hat today.
I saw the big hat,
So we would fit. It's 7.5 gallons. I don't have a 10 gallon, so.
Oh, what does that mean?
So, you don't know about the 10-gallon
hat?
That's the old cowboy from back in the John Wayne movies. The good guy came in, had the big hat to stick up. The 10-gallon hat, they called it. I guess it would hold 10 gallons of water to water his horse, I guess. I don't know.
说早期的那个美国的牛仔，他们有戴着帽子，上面有可以装很多水，10个 gallon。所以他说，How many gallon yours today?
Mine's 7.5.
Oh, 7.5个 gallon 的水。Very interesting. So Tim, what do you do regularly as a day in day out Texan?
Well, as a day in day out Texan. Before COVID-19, I was in the real estate business and the oil business. I did mineral rights, landman work, and that's kind of dead right now due to the COVID. So I am right now with my friend Sheila. We're creating a custom garden, and we're going to have people come take their pictures in our custom garden. It's got giant arbors. It's a real custom, beautiful, super beautiful garden.
Yeah, 他在这个 COVID-19 之前的话，他是做房地产，还有做这个石油跟石油这方面的工作。他现在的话跟他朋友合作。What's your friend's name again? Sheila, yeah, and Sheila. 他们准备做一个很好的花园，大家可以来照相，大家合作可以跟游览区。Well, that's a fantastic idea. Well, since we talk about community, what is the big understanding about when people think about Texan? Why people misunderstanding about what's the good about being Texan? Why people always most misunderstanding, miscommunicating about Texan?
The misunderstanding. I don't know, maybe the idea that they had the cowboy hats, the country boys, the howdy y'all. Maybe people would think that Texans are a little slower because we talk a little slower. I think the other misunderstanding is one of the things that you're pointing out right now. I don't think people understand how diverse Texas is.
I see. That's true.
There are more languages spoken in Houston, Texas than there are spoken in any other city in the United States. I think it's 254.
Oh my goodness.
Something like that. Different languages spoken in Houston, Texas.
他跟我讲，现在德州最大的人家了解的话，德州现在有各种不同的国家，大概有200多种不同语言。德州人的话，有很多往往了解，觉得德州人也许好像因为讲话比较慢，因为天气比较热的关系，所以也许对我们德州有很多的误解。So and we know Texas is very big and very hot on some parts of it. And so what do you want to tell audience? What's the best way to communicating a Texan, a native? Yeah, like we're talking. Do we need to speak in Texas accent? You know.
I think communicating with kindness with Texans. I think that's really what we want. So no matter which accent, doesn't matter. Of course, you have to learn how to say y'all. And,
y'all. Okay.
If you want to know if someone's eaten, you don't say "Have you eaten?" You say "Jeet yet?"
Oh.
And "Yont to?" So. Just to learn the language, since y'all were all speaking different languages up
there. 他说德州人讲话的话，有的时候他会讲的有点英文也不一样。So have you eaten? How do you say that? How do you eat in Texas?
Jeet yet?
Jeet yet?
Did you eat yet? Turn it into one word.
Really
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And
what's the other one?
Yont to? Do you want to? Yont to? You just have to turn 3 words into one. You speak Texas.
3 words into one.
And we understand. That's for the Texans like me, I guess.
还有大家有一点误解，觉得好像德州好像不太欢迎其他，像德州非常非常的欢迎各种不同的。So, well, we know Texas and Houston very diverse. So, what is the big change you say past 25 years in Houston and Texas? Because we have such a big culture mix now. So,
the biggest change, I think, is one that the world's still fighting with right now. Our country and our city and our state are becoming very diverse. Everyone's getting a voice now.
Okay.
At the top, it's becoming tribal now. I think there's a conflict going on right now. I have my mask on my hand. Let me put that. I think there's a conflict going on right now in the country and in our city and in the rest of the country, whereas there's a tribal battle. We're being asked at the top to join one tribe, left or right, left or right, left or right. Then in the cities like Houston, we have folks, now listen to other people talk, speaking about wanting to be understood and people recognize who they are. So in the local areas, at the grassroots, we have different groups wanting to be understood and appreciated for who they are and understood who they are. Then the top saying left, right. So,
I see.
So I think there's a huge battle right now is the biggest change for me. It may not be the answer you wanted. But I think there's a big battle as to which way we go.
他觉得现在的话有没有很大的一个分别？也比他们现在不是左边就是右边，但在修正方面有各种不同，很多小的 group， 小的 group， 但是大家都希望团结在一起。但是在上面的话，好像是不是左就是右？事实上的话，大家的不是像那么简单的，比较复杂。So, what's the best way to tell the audience, what we should do? What we should all come together, understanding each other, become friends, so we can move on. What?
We need to. I believe in God. Okay, I'm a God believer. Okay, I think that one of the greatest gifts we were given from God is empathy, and we need to all open our hearts and quit trying to force others to be a part of our group and start listening and understanding and find our empathy. Even though I can't have sympathy, I can't understand being Hispanic. I can't understand being Taiwanese, right? I can't understand being Taiwanese. I can open my heart and try to get understanding from you. And if we do that and use our empathy, which is our greatest gift, if we use our empathy for understanding, then we can all start getting along and we can quit this war that's going on.
Right. 他说希望大家能够心胸宽大，然后接受大家各种不同生活习惯、种族的背景，大家集中在一起，所以大家就可以和平相处，是非常重要的，不会这么多的不同的误解。Okay, well that's great. Well, our show is almost coming to an end. We want to say a few words. So, yeah, Edge Radio in Houston, Texas is a fantastic radio station. We're kind of new, but not really that new. We've been around for a long time. We have lots of different programs we want you to watch. Follow us on Facebook Live and streaming. Also, you can call us in the future. We'll have a phone call. You can call in. Right now, we're just starting our new location, work on new location, but fantastic. And I hope you continue watching us, follow us. We have many, many different guests. And so, Tim, what's the last word? Shout out to our audience.
Shout out to the audience. Congratulations to my friend on his new show.
Well, thank you very much. Yes.
I'm excited for him, a super talented man.
Oh, well, thank you.
I hope everyone tunes in and listens. I appreciate you doing this, the differences, different languages, different people.
Okay.
It's a great thing you're doing.
我谢谢大家收看。接下来我的话，我以后再看我们剧，我们叫做亚洲人生活在美国。希望你多多收看，可以学到更多很好的新鲜知识跟娱乐方面的消息。下次再见。Well, we see you next time. Have a good day.